We are approaching the end of the confession of sin. Today we turn our attention to "and walk in your ways." Yesterday we discussed a little bit about what it means that we may delight in God's will, and today we think a few moments about what it means to walk in God's ways. The purpose of the confession has been to acknowledge where we have, as we've noted before in the language of other versions of the confession, erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep. Sheep, following the shepherd, follow in the shepherd's ways. They follow where the shepherd goes to go out to pasture, to come in from pasture, to find food. They follow. Having opened ourselves, if you will, in confession, having searched our souls and searched our hearts for the ways in which we are not following God, as we conclude the confession, we say, you know what? May we walk in God's ways. You know, we've said before that confession, and particularly in Lent, the entire season of Lent for that matter, is all about, soul searching and kind of, we hear the phrase, I think it's worn out, making room for God. But if we getting this stuff out, we've made room, what do we fill that void with? Nature abhors a vacuum. So when we have searched ourselves, when we've confessed our sins, when we've realized that there is some freedom, some open space within, what do we fill it with but with the very presence of God and God's actions? Not just say, oh, God lives in my heart. Okay, that's well and fine. Well, let God have some living and breathing and moving about in the world through and with and in us. So as we turn our attention to the conclusion of the confession, may we walk in God's ways. Having set aside the ways of the world, having set aside our sinful ways, we take new steps each day in walking in the way of God.